Johnny Cage is a movie star, superhumanly strong, cocky, Mortal Kombat character fighter that is strong enough to contend with some of the best fighters in Mortal Kombat. Despite his jokey nature and narcissistic tendencies, he's still strong. Johnny Cage likes to use a knife. Sometimes you might even see him use a pistol. Part of the reason why he's a superhuman martial arts fighter that has supernatural abilities and he's superhuman just like the other Mortal Kombat people, despite him being only technically just a human, he is technically a descendant of an ancient Mediterranean cult who bred warriors for the gods, warriors who possess power beyond that of mortals. This legacy has made Johnny Cage a star. It will aid him in the battle to come. But how strong are we talking about exactly in the Mortal Kombat verse? An example of his strength is how he's fighting Scorpion here, reacting to his strength, kind of like in a show of just raw strength here. You can see their muscles like clashing with one another, even though he got pushed to the ground. Still strong enough to push him off of him, kick him away, even though we know Scorpion ain't normal. In this occasion, he even knocks away Scorpion here, reacts to Scorpion's chain, literally catching it fighting speed-wise, then blitzes him with speed, green aura. He can see manipulate energy to enhance his attributes as well. Same with battling characters like Sub-Zero in his helicopter, even stopping his ice sword and breaks it and kicks him in the air like that. He even held his own against Scorpion and Sub-Zero at the same freaking time in this cinematic cutscene, showing his combat ability against two of the top tier fighters of the verse. Even hit him hard enough to send him flying with a punch like that. Fights on par with Smoke as well, who was doing this to armed soldiers. And you see how he did this? Can't just one-shot Johnny Cage, even though he was doing it to all them armed soldiers. Heck, he even goes as far as knocking him the freak out. In this particular occasion, he was kind of dodging attacks from Shao Kahn, piecing him up here and there until he got teamed up on by Sindel. It's not until they teamed up on him that they got the real advantage over Johnny Cage. Not to mention this was a Johnny Cage in the past that didn't really discover his full potential yet. Younger Johnny Cage. Sindel is a Udinian, and he's only supposedly supposed to be a normal human, so this is actually pretty impressive. Fighting otherworldly beings that are thousands of years old. But he did lose this particular occasion though, for the most part. But these characters beat each other in this universe because they're strong. Shinnok on this occasion, messing up everybody else. He just comes in and literally stops them, kicking them, staggering them here. This occasion, he kicks Sub-Zero. Boom, boom. Hand-to-hand combat skills like that. By the way, there was timeline stuff where the old Johnny Cage and the young Johnny Cage met each other. Yeah, see the maturity and growth over the years. To answer the question of who's stronger, the younger him or older him, let's just say they're comparable. Because they've actually gotten a little scuffle, showing that the gap in power isn't that wide, where even though he's older, he's still not no lackey in comparison to his young self. Like how he stated, old man just kicked his own butt, you know what I'm saying? Younger self said it was luck, but was it though? I mean, it is you, so he does know how to use firearms, even though he can box you up, and he doesn't really technically need the guns based on his raw power. When he doesn't feel like piecing you up, he can just use a gun and shield like that. Like in this occasion, you can see his strength, how he just mows them over with the shield. He even fought Aaron Black. Characters in the universe seem to have superhuman durability, but when it comes to piercing damage, it seems like they still can be harmed by normal bullets for the most part. If they're caught off guard and don't have no defenses, proof that he's a top tier in the universe. He's even beaten one of the Elder God level beings. Stated how in the past he beat Shinnok Mano Mano, who's an Elder God tier being, a being supposedly even above Raiden. Even beat one of the android Cyrax. But when it comes to fighting speed, these characters are pretty quick. Like for example, he's able to move while bullets are in motion. When it comes to combat speed, with his combat, you can literally see the bullet moving while he's moving, so he's faster than a bullet. The best way to get an idea of Johnny Cage's speed is the people in his universe's speed. You get an idea of how fast Cage is. You see characters like Cabal in speed. Like how they can do this with these bullets, blitz folks like it ain't nothing with raw speed. Even though his daughter still can dodge attacks from him, even despite this level of speed he had. Showing that even though Cabal is this quick, Johnny Cage's daughter, she has speed similar to him, kind of proves that his speed isn't overwhelmingly faster than everybody. There has been folks that calculate the Cabal feat, and they estimate that you would have to be at least hypersonic levels of speed to even be able to keep up with the majority of Mortal Kombat characters when it comes to raw speed at least. Cage should be no exception to being hypersonic at least, so the low ball. Mortal Kombat characters' moves are literally stated to be as fast as actual lightning. This makes sense because he has control over lightning. Beings have to react to this type of stuff. Raiden can do this. In this universe, Johnny Cage has to have fighting speed similar because he fights these type of beings all the time, like Shinnok, even a being that messed up Raiden, so it makes sense. It shows that Johnny Cage is not lacking in the speed department. He was fast enough to jump in front of a laser attack after it was fired, thanks to the green aura, him using his magical abilities and stuff. A lot of beings in Mortal Kombat have magic in their blood. This was against Shinnok in this occasion. With fighting speed, combat. I mean, just look at his fighting speed in occasion with Scorpion, showing that he has the speed to keep up with these beings. Yep. In this occasion, he was fighting Shinnok. In this occasion, showing that he can hold their ground. They're not getting one-shotted, even though they was overclassed in this occasion, you know, when it comes to speed and etc. still dies a couple of attacks and hit back. One can say he has two states of mind that you have to pay attention to, him and his base, and then he has this ability to make an energy glow. It enhances his durability and everything, so you can catch him when his guard is down, but when the glow is up, his durability is enhanced. But this is his base state, and this is how he looks when he's got the little green glow around him. Energy projection. An example will be him enhancing his durability, how this green glow was able to help him withstand a blast from Shinnok level characters. If without that green glow, it wouldn't have made him survive. Some even dubbed this little green glow right here his inner power. He can use his inner power to energy blast with this inner power he can do. Can use his inner power to move like a blur, like dash kick you like that. To really get an idea of his speed, he's not even afraid of pulling out brass knuckles to hit combos on you that way. Yeah, he really does love brass knuckles. You see the green aura he enhances his punches with? Like that. They call this green stuff high force ball. You can really get an idea with the charge energy like that, how it can increase his speed, defenses, and just like how it's like an after image glow with the little inner power. I know fatalities and stuff are just a part of the game. You can get an idea of their strength by their punching power. They can do that to people's head. Enhancing his strikes with his green energy projection around his body. He can kick big chunks of meat off your body and part of your head with it. Definitely superhuman. Where I literally punch through a normal person's gut and do like that with the strength. There's actually been calculations to really determining the strength to just do that to someone's head. That means Johnny Cage would have to be able to produce 2,000 pounds to even up to 10,000 pounds of force to be able to do something like this. This is a minor feat. There's another argument that can be made based on his performance with Scorpion. This occasion is the perfect example of the two clashing in strength, and Johnny Cage can match of being like Scorpion's strength and push him off of him. That was a clear contest of strength right there. Them two literally clashing arms. Cage was able to hold his ground and then push him off at the bottom like that. Remember that characters like Scorpion can rip out spines out of a body in strength. This has been calculated to be a bare minimum 100 tons of force needed to do something like this, and these two literally clashed with Scorpion in a contest of strength and struggle with their muscles clashing against each other. Meaning, even if you want to say that Scorpion has a strength advantage, the gap isn't that big to where he's a trillion times weaker, because he did physically clash contest of strength here. Johnny Cage did, as you can see there. This confirms that he can at least lift over hundreds of tons clashing with Scorpion like this. We also got to keep in mind he did this and we didn't see any green aura in this particular occasion. So this is like base human strength, I'm assuming. YouTubers like Vsauce have even done calculations on how much power it would take the need to rip your head off or rip your spine out. Here's a video called "Could You Rip a Person's Spine Out?" This website even references this video from Vsauce on YouTube on how much force it would take these Mortal Kombat characters to do such things. 1 million newtons of force, which further confirms him being able to lift over hundreds of tons even more. 1 million newtons in ton format is the equivalent of lifting like a whale up. So it's pretty accurate when it comes to them being able to rip out spines and stuff and showing how deadly they really are. They, based on their fatalities, have to have this level of strength. This is not even accounting for the people that they're actually doing fatalities on. Their actual durability is even greater than a normal human. Lowballing, assuming they're doing fatalities on normal humans. And we know in this universe they're not just doing fatalities on normal humans, but we're lowballing for the sake of it. It still comes out to be over hundreds of tons of force, things like that. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's strong enough to split his opponent's head with a karate chop. It makes sense, honestly. Running around and rip into their chest just like that. Talking about he ain't strong. Hundreds of tons makes sense. Look what he does to people's torso. Well, that was green aura though, but you get the idea. Think of Johnny Cage like Ultimate Gohan. All this time, he didn't know why he would get these certain bursts of power-ups. It was just a lot of energy surging inside of him. It's even mentioned in Mortal Kombat 11 on why. An example being in this occasion MK11 with a Cetrion, an elder god that's technically above rated and technically
Cassie beat Shinnok. Only because the Cages are born with crazy magic powers.
Well, they brought up his daughter. They're part of the same family line. So this does apply to Johnny Cage too. He's gotten in scuffle with other fighters in the universe like Sonya Blade, for example, who's also superhuman in her own right. He's able to withstand getting semi-frozen by beings like Sub-Zero. I mean, the elder god known as Shinnok literally telekinetically picked him up and literally slammed him. He's in a universe of people this powerful. Got thrown by Shao Kahn. Like that. He can take a lot of abuse. In a fight with Shiva, he's thrown into a stone pillar. Yeah, when he does have the inner power fully unleashed, he can fight on par with elder gods like Shinnok, even gods like Raiden. He didn't always have his power, just always walking around at this power level, which is why you see him get knocked out on occasions like this, getting blasted by Raiden's lightning. I mean, a corrupted Shinnok even survived blasts like this, which should be instant obliteration for normal human. Knowing how strong characters like Shinnok are, you already know base Johnny Cage can lift over hundreds of tons. People can hit harder than what they can lift. But what about his actual inner power?
You're forgetting the time I beat Shinnok mano a mano.
That's right. When he got his power fully unleashed, he was literally able to fight an elder god tier level being.
You really are a fallen elder god.
Yeah, even talks crap to him in the cutscene, got him limping. It's that the Cages have these elder gods' number when it comes to raw power. Even Cassie Cage, for example, is a descendant of Johnny Cage, thanks to this green aura inner power, be able to do this to deities like this. literally getting an advantage over them, like Cassie being able to be the Elder God, the corrupted Shinnok. This same Shinnok was powerful enough to overpower characters like Raiden. This isn't by any means an easy feat. Like this seems to be a massive power difference in their base state, which is still strong. Like you see right here how they can't really mess with them when you don't see the green aura or inner power, but it all changes. See, you see how easy it is? It changes when he goes in green mode or inner power. Don't forget that Raiden has enough raw power to produce lightning that's big as temples like that. As you can see, we look at the lightning strike to that big old temple. Since we know thanks to his genetics and inner power can overpower beings like Shinnok, who's similar to beings like Citron in raw power, I think it's safe to say that these two are comparable to one another. That's fair, right? Because they're deities, right? Elder gods, right? He overpowered an elder god, right? But his daughter did the same thing, showing that same inner power runs in the family. You get an idea of his strength just from the dialogue between other characters and in-game like dialogue that's kind of canon technically, sort of, because they do talk about real events here.
You bested Shinnok in combat.
I hear I'm the one who takes down Shinnok.
It is his amulet which finishes him.
Yeah, but this guy softens him up.
Prove his strength even more. Look how he interacts with characters like Citron, another elder god that's Shinnok level. They've been talking about how Cage's family line at Cassie Cage bested Shinnok, just like he did.
Your daughter disrupted the balance,
What she did was get medieval on Shinnok.
which thwarted my mother's will.
So you were to defeat Shinnok.
Is it so hard to believe? Once upon a time, I beat Shinnok. Look it up. I laid him out.
It's more confirmation of it. Elder gods like Citron can grow to the size of an entire continent if needed be and blast you. Shinnok is also in her range of power. And this guy with the inner power fully unleashed was able to defeat this guy because of his crazy magic power. This should technically make inner power fully unleashed Johnny Cage a planet buster, technically based on the sheer size of the gods and how powerful they can get, based on the energy they can create or generate. But that's none of my business. And if you think her super move is an exaggeration, other gods in the game have been stated to do similar overpowered stuff. Like how it was stated that being known as Shinnok faced against the thunder god known as Raiden years ago, their battle for the realm of Earth was fierce, causing the planet's near destruction and plunging into centuries of darkness. Kind of hard to get an idea of what really happened visually, or, you know, did they one shot one thing and then the whole planet almost blew up, or it was like a over time thing. You know, it's one of those things, but you kind of get an idea. It matches up with the Citron feat of hair growing to the size of pretty much the planet, or the size of multiple continents, one could say. But for the most part, that's just about when I do it. Did you know the characters from the Mortal Kombat universe was this overpowered? Characters like Sub-Zero and Scorpion being able to produce hundreds of tons of force with their raw muscles, be able to rip a spine out and all that crazy stuff. Johnny Cage being able to match with them. I'm sure you didn't know his inner power could get that overpowered, but thank you all that have donated to the channel. Appreciate the love on this video. I'll see you guys later. Respect, Johnny Cage.